Mycroft is an open source artificial intelligence platform. You can think of it like the open source Amazon Echo. The idea is that this current change in how we interact with computers versus in the past where we've kind of just pointed and grunted in order to make things happen is really coming to the forefront of just everything. With your phone, you're picking up, you're talking to Siri or OK Google, and as more and more things make its way into the house, such as smart lights and smart locks and everything, the most natural way to interact with them is through a voice interface. And so we're building an open source product that allows you to interact with everything in your house and interact with all your data through your voice.
Talk about the open sourceness of it. What's the open source nature? Talk about licensing and development.
Yeah. So everything comes out under GPL version 3, and pretty much you can take it and include it in any of your projects. So what I've been saying lately, and it's not officially our tagline yet, but our software is to be used to voice enable anything. You can voice enable, a company could voice enable a microwave. I have no idea why they would do that, but they can. All you need is a speaker and a mic and a small embedded chip, and all the way over to a student who has a robot for a science fair. All those things can be voice enabled through Mycroft, and the idea is to have this technology permeate into as many products and projects as possible to make voice enabled devices ubiquitous in our lives.
Can you show off the hardware a little bit?
Yeah, so it was the hardware that we kickstarted, and it's actually built for makers and hackers. So this is version 1.0. We call it the Holmes 4, and it's got a Raspberry Pi inside and an Arduino that runs the face. And then on the back, you can see we've got quite a few ports exposed. We've got the ribbon cable port here, and then we've got 4 USB ports, an Ethernet port, an HDMI port, RCA out, and of course the power. And also on the side...
Before you go further, what are some things people would use that ribbon port for?
Like a camera. You could put a camera on it and have it recognize people and greet them. The HDMI, we've been discussing running Kodi or some other like media center, so you could then plug it into your TV and use voice to control your media. And then the RCA is for like plugging into speakers,
Sure.
A speaker system. And then of course the Ethernet and the USB ports are self-explanatory. You could do anything that you would do in the past with with your computer, and you could interact with it via voice. And it could make a little cute computer if you really wanted to run a GUI on it and
well, it's enough to run Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, that's
sure.
quite a computer, really.
Yeah. And the idea with maybe running Kodi or some other media center on it is that you could just, install maybe a plugin and then have it plug into your TV and be like, Mycroft, put on The Walking Dead, And so then finally there's these little, you can see the OSI logo there. These are little ports you can remove, and you can make it like into a robot head, so put it on a servo or something. But really, we just wanted to engage our community and get them involved and give them a good known piece of hardware to work on. But we run Mycroft on our laptops, so we all run Ubuntu and we run it on our laptops, and we have created skills around pulling up YouTube videos, pulling up applications. So it could be like a Cortana, sort of for the open source desktops.
I think Wikipedia is going to get a lot of queries.
Yeah. And we're hoping to actually include like a little drop-down indicator on a lot of desktops so that it can display information in that, so give you a visual aid to what it's saying. But of course, a lot of that's going to be put into the project after we've had some time to build the community around it. We open sourced a few different projects up until now. We open sourced our intent parser, so that's what takes what you say and turns it into an action. We open sourced our text-to-speech engine, so it takes the text, turns it into synthesized speech that you can hear. We've started a project called OpenSTT, which is to create an open model that's used for speech-to-text. And then finally, there's Mycroft Core, which comes out today, which ties that all together. And that's what makes this so special. And so you'll be able to take that, install it on your Raspberry Pi, install it on any other embedded device, or on your laptop, or even your gaming desktop, and be able to talk to it. And what's interesting about that is that people have already created skills that are totally outside of what we had imagined. We brought in our backers who ordered the software dev kit early, and somebody's already created a skill that allows him to control Team Fortress 2 using his voice. So there's lots and lots of possibilities. It's kind of funny because voice-enabled technologies, especially open source ones, are kind of they're in a realm where there's been a lot of flyby commits and not active development all the time. And so Mycroft actually has ended up forking Flight, which is Festival Light from Carnegie Mellon University, and we ended up having to start our own open speech-to-text model and an entire project around that, as well as just build a lot of the technology in-house, not because we wanted to, but just because the necessity was there for projects that are well-maintained. And so we've tried to be good open source citizens and give back to other projects that we make use of, but also in places where we couldn't build a community around existing project, we ended up using our own.
In developing this, I know you used Python.
Yeah.
Was stock Python all you needed, or is there anything special you were using to make this project work?
No, I mean, if you're used to the Python development toolchain and you're able to install, packages, using pip, you should be able to get it go pretty quickly. And we're trying. The community will have to bear with us because the problem of working on a project for so long is you forget all the things that needed to be explained at the beginning. And so we're trying to make our docs the best possible so that people can get up and running without too many missing pieces. But we're going to be relying on our community in order to help us, identify those missing pieces.